For all the best boxing content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
Gallery Square, it is time for our main event. Let's introduce you to the participants. You see Alfonso Lopez, 29 years old. He's from Texas, nearby Cut and Shoot, Texas, to Corpus Christi. And there is Dyah Davis. Just saw a beautiful story on Dyah Davis, and of course the son of Howard Davis from the 1976 Olympic team, the gold medalist. 20 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 9 knockouts. 30 years old, he got a late start. 6'1", 166 3/4, and he trains and lives here in Florida at John David Jackson's gym is where he gets his work done.
The 3 judges scoring at ringside, Fred Foodie, Michael Pernick, and Rocky Young. When the bell rings, the
Let's join Bob Alexander for the introductions.
Asaminos. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white and black trunks. He weighed in at 167 pounds. His professional record, 22 wins, 1 loss with 17 wins by way of knockout. From Huntsville, Texas, here is Alfonso El Tigre Lopez. His opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with yellow trim. He weighed in at 166 3/4 pounds. His professional record, 20 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 9 wins by way of knockout. From Boca Raton, Florida, here is dangerous Dyah Ali Davis.
Teles Asaminos is the referee. Teles has worked many main events on our televised Florida cards, and Lopez and Davis are scheduled for 10 rounds here in Key West.
One second. Gentlemen, you have received instructions in the dressing rooms. Obey my commands at all time. Protect yourselves at all time. Wish you good luck. God bless. Shake hands.
Joe, I don't know how serious Lopez took this fight, and I'm sure he took it serious, but I know Davis took it very serious. Scales don't lie. He's coming in the lightest of his career. He knows what this fight means. He's coming in 5 1/4 pounds less than his last fight only 2.5 months ago.
Our season debut main event on Friday Night Fights.
Lopez has fought the better opposition throughout his career so far. All but 3 of Lopez's 23 fights have been in his home state of Texas. His only loss is when he stepped outside of that home state of Texas. Three fights ago, Lopez hurt his right hand. We'll see whether or not it holds up okay tonight. Both defensive-minded fighters. Right now, I asked in the opening, who's going to stand? Who's going to want to fight? Who's going to want to take chances? Who's going to want to be more aggressive? I hope someone puts their hand up. Right now, Dave is setting his feet a little bit more. The problem, nobody's moving their hands. Lopez likes to move around, can be very awkward. He'll move around and suddenly attack a little bit, then move around a little bit, keep you off balance. Come from all different kinds of positions, angles. Davis, no amateur background. Learned on the job, learned in the pros. Good bloodlines. His father, Howard Davis Jr., part of the greatest Olympic team, at least in my mind, of all time, the 1976 Olympic team when he won a gold medal. Guys like Sugar Ray Leonard, Leo Randolph, the Spinks brothers, and Howard Davis had all those names. He won the Val Barker Trophy for outstanding boxer of those Olympics.
Isn't that amazing? You
Incredible.
think about the names that you just listed off, and then think about how quickly some of those guys went on to instant elite pro success.
Well, you can do that when you have 200, 300 fights against the best in the world. You have that kind of confidence, that kind of talent, that kind of experience.
Leon Spinks just 8 fights later.
Yeah, he went and fought Muhammad Ali, the greatest.
There you go. Stop.
And won the heavyweight championship of the world when he upset Ali.
I suppose you would say the 84 team would be the next best team.
Yeah, but you know what? You want to say that, but I'm not going to say it. But because a lot of the Cuban fighters, you know, the top fighters,
obviously in terms of the rest of the world.
The Cubans and some of the Russians, but I know the Cubans weren't there. So some of the best competition weren't there. So that opened the gates. I mean, we had talented guys in that Olympics, but that opened the gates for our guys to walk into gold medals. A little easier than it was in 1976.
Right.
Right now, I wish the gates would open a little bit and these hands would start moving because I'm waiting for it.
Counter to everything they told us yesterday. We'll see what comes up the second round and if they open things up a bit then. Hemingway, as lore goes, and one of the restaurants that we frequent, Teddy, when we come down here, would referee nickel and quarter backyard boxing matches at a restaurant now called the Blue Heaven, where they apparently back in the day had a ring set up, and Hemingway himself would get in there and act as the referee. And as one story goes, on one night actually became one of the participants when a fighter started arguing with him.
Well, Hemingway was a real sportsman, of course. Fisherman, he wrote that great novel, Old Man in the Sea. But a great sportsman, and one of the sports that he really embraced, he really loved, was boxing. And I wish that these fighters would do a little bit of that right now.
That would be nice. Round 2, Alfonso Lopez and Dyah Davis. Davis, we talked to him yesterday. He said, all right, let's just get right to it, your strategy. He said, my strategy is to be myself, to be aggressive. I want to be effective. I want a good jab. I want a lot of body work, but yet to fully engage.
Well, I don't know what his strategy is, but I know what his DNA is and what it has been. It's to move and to grab. It's to move around a little bit, shoot shots at you, sometimes fall in, throwing punches, and then to grab you. And Davis, he likes to fight defensive, so he's not shying away from grabs right now. And that's the bad news for us and for the audience so far. You talked about referees before. I'm tempted to have given that first round to the referee.
You think that he was more active and showed more ring generalship than the two fighters?
Well,
that Teles Asamino played a bigger role in that first round?
Well, I see a little sweat. A little sweat in his underarms.
Well, look at the CompuBox numbers. These are just atrocious punch stats from that first round. 3 landed to 2 landed.
I mean, I'll be honest. When we were told that, you know, people that make our fights, that choose these fights, chose us as the main event, I was a little surprised. They said, you know, these guys, they're not names that are going to knock you over, and they're not guys that I looked at and said, wow, you know, it's going to be a scintillating fight, you know, because their styles are going to make it exciting. Whether or not they're going to be future champs, it don't matter, but there's a chance it's going to be exciting. I was a little concerned when I was told this match was made because these are the kind of styles that aren't always conducive to action. And I want action. And our fans want action. And right now, again, you see Lopez, he'll move a little bit, he'll jump in, he'll fall in, he'll grab. Davis not shy to grab right back.
Teddy, you want action. I'm going to give you action right now. I'm going to remind fans of what Friday Night Fights looked like 2011 as SportsIllustrated.com named it the fight of the year.
Yeah, well, that first night, I thought Rodriguez won that fight. Great fight. There were no losers. But I thought as far as on paper, Rodriguez should have had his hand raised, but he made amends for that. He got his hand raised, as you just said, in the rematch. Tremendous fight. They left everything in the ring that night.
I agree with you. I felt Rodriguez should have had the win that night, but it's hard to take anything away from Wallach and the effort he gave. Yeah, you know, the thing I still remember from that night, Teddy, is the post-fight interview. Very rarely do we do a post-fight interview with the two fighters standing between us. And then for him to be doing that post-fight interview with the amount of swelling on his face.
And usually I don't say swelling is a good thing, but maybe we'll get some swelling now because both guys, and I'd like to get a little swelling, both guys starting to move forward and move their hands a little bit. And again, you see both guys inclined to grab. They're clutches, these guys. You get close to them, some guys punch. Some guys move their head. Some guys step to the side. Some guys, they grab. These guys grab.
Let me go, guys.
Talking about that Pavlik-Rodriguez fight, great heart. Well, one of our best fans out there is a kid with the greatest heart that I've ever seen in my life. Christian Panisi, you met him, I think, at one of our dinners, one of our foundation dinners. Christian, big fan. He's got a little surgery Monday. We're thinking about you. We love you, Christian. We're praying for you. You're going to be fine. You're as tough as they come. Nobody's tougher than you. If every fighter was as tough as you, they'd all be world champions. Get better.
All of our best to him. College football bowl action continues. Saturday, 1 o'clock on ESPN, the BBVA Compass Bowl from Birmingham. SMU take it on Pitt. That's on ESPN, ESPN Radio, ESPN 3. Saturday, 1 Eastern on ESPN.
See a little posturing there by Davis, but I don't want to see posturing. I don't want to see punching. And I don't want to see grabbing anymore. And I know I've said that 3 times already.
Punch out, let him go.
I hope I don't have to say it anymore. Anyone who makes a decision, someone wants to win this fight, you know what it starts with? Wanting to win the fight.
Just throwing punches.
Yeah, that's all it starts with. Wanting to win the fight.
And that'll separate you from the other guy.
And in 2 ways. One, use your jab on the outside. Nobody's doing that. Or when you get inside, don't grab and punch. If one person makes a choice, and life's always about choices, fighting's about choices. Make a choice that's good now, and you're going to be able to live with, and that's going to be good later.
Grab on the inside again there as Davis's left hand is behind Lopez. Comes forward with the right hand. Just a slap, but it was a punch. Saw the left hand by Dyah Davis in round number 3. The 30-year-old from Boca Raton, Florida, the son of Howard Davis, the 76 Olympic gold medalist. In so far a lackluster fight where both guys have been slow to fully engage, taking on Alfonso Lopez, who fought former middleweight champion Kelly Pavlik. It was a majority decision win for Pavlik a year ago. There was a left hand landed by Davis as Lopez made a decision to come forward, and then they tie up on the ropes. There's that double jab by Davis.
See, Davis has the ability to grab, but I don't want to see that ability. I want to see the ability to set his feet, use that jab. So show a little bit of the skill sets that he has.
Tied up again. More work for Telis Asaminos, third man inside the ropes tonight.
And again, Lopez a little cruder. And maybe that's all it takes to win this fight. Be crude. Move your hands. Whoever chooses not to do what you're seeing, not to just grab, to punch a little bit, that person has an easy opportunity to win the fight. Open window to win the fight. Both these fighters have to fight off nature. They have to fight off the instinct to just survive. Everybody has that, the instinct to survive. They have to temper it. They have to control it with the discipline and the thought of winning.
That's what a seasoned fighter does.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone has the survival instinct, everybody. Otherwise, you're not born on this planet. And surviving gets in the way of winning, because instinct only thinks about making sure that you're going to get from this moment to the next moment safely. A top pro, a top athlete, a person who's the best of whatever they do, takes that instinct and he puts it on the side, he controls it, and he uses the discipline, his character, his teaching to make sure that he does the things to prosper, the things to triumph. In this case, the thing's to win. Right now, both guys allowing the instinct of survival to dominate them. Somebody has to shake that off a little bit and think about the things they were taught. Not instinctive things, but taught things.
Right hand by Lopez fell a bit short that time. End of 4. I think Saul looks great myself.
No, I mean, you're right. He does look sharp.
He's a handsome man. He just had a good holiday season.
I wasn't picking on him. I was just pointing out that sit-ups could be part of his New Year's resolution.
So round number 5 here of our main event between Lopez and Davis. As some of the social media buzz a little frustrated with the lack of punching here. Just scanning Twitter in between rounds, and some people calling this one a dud, a snooze fest. The list goes on and on.
You don't
Teddy,
have to be, you know, the amazing Kreskin to make that observation, or Angelo Dundee or Ray Arcel or any of those greats to see that. We get it, guys. It's not a good one. I wish we could change it. Not sure we can.
I don't understand how Saul is not in shape. You got him training with Alexander Povetkin. He's not running alongside the #2 heavyweight in the world, the WBA heavyweight champion.
Yeah, he's running, but at a different pace. Little different pace.
So Povetkin's out there in front and Saul's in the car?
Not in the car. Not in the car, but a little bit behind. But Saul does a great job as my assistant. When we go over to Russia to train, the WBA heavyweight champ Povetkin, who I'm fortunate enough to be training, and lucky enough that we won a title.
Talk about that a little later, as Teddy had a very busy off-season from Friday Night Fights. Sweeping left hand off the mark from Davis.
And I thought going in here that Davis, even though he had no amateur fights and had to do all his learning in the pros, and Lopez had 40 amateur fights, it seemed like an advantage, but I thought Davis had the better overall skill set. Obviously, you have to use them, but I thought that he could do stuff like that. Catch Lopez on the way in. Set himself, use that jab like we said in the fight plan. Take a little step back maybe, and then just catch Lopez coming in. Lopez throws a lot of arm punches. He flails a little bit. And he leaves plenty of opportunities to time him coming in. Neither one of these fighters are punchers. So a lot of the fans might be saying, then why are they acting like they're afraid of each other? Why are they acting like they're both up in front of George Foreman?
Hold, punch out. Don't hit me behind the back. Punch out. Come on, guys. Break! And go.
How was the experience overall?
Oh, it's good to be home. Spent 5 weeks in Russia training for the Boswell fight, and a week in Finland. Before that, August 27th, we won the title against Shagayev. Difficult circumstances, kind of extreme circumstances. We only had 3 weeks and 2 days to really have a camp to get ready, but we got it done. Povetkin acted like a pro. He won the title with Shagayev, and I think he showed good improvement in his first title defense against 35-1 Boswell.
Round number 6 here, scheduled 10 between Davis and Lopez. And now you tell me, Teddy, but we've heard reports of possibly Marco Huck for Povetkin.
February 25th in Germany. That's the next fight on the calendar, the next title defense against the former, or actually the cruiserweight champion on the German, Huck. Been training Povetkin now for about 2.5 years, and you know, it's a process, Joe. We started it off early on. We were offered the Klitschko fight only about 4 or 5 months into my training with him. I thought it was the wrong time. I turned the fight down. I took a lot of criticism, but I was trying to look out for the fighter. You know, it was a $2 million fight. It was a good payday for everybody, including myself, but I just thought with time he'd have a better chance to win the fight, and something else would come around if we were patient, if we didn't just for the money, and something else came around. He got 2 years to get better, to develop. Something else came along with the Shigaya fight. He got a chance to win the title, and now I think when he fights Klitschko eventually, and of course that's the end game, that's the goal for everybody, he has a better chance to win a fight, and he's in better position to demand an even bigger purse than $2 million.
One hold. There you go. Both of you. Punch out.
Jean-Marc Mormek up next for Vladimir Klitschko. So we've got these cruiserweights taking their shot at the heavyweight division.
And right now, taking shots, Davis seems to be taking more shots, letting shots go a little bit more. And again, you've seen the reason why I favored Davis going into this fight. I thought he just had more talent. Again, no amateur fights. Lopez had 40 amateur fights. Lopez has fought the better opposition so far in his career. His only loss to a former world champion, which I didn't think was a majority loss, even though that's how they scored it. I thought he lost unanimously, but he fought the better competition. I think Davis, again, the better style, his better skill sets. If he just puts a little confidence with those skill sets, a little discipline with those skill sets.
End of 6 here between Lopez and Davis.
Not much action, but there are opportunities. Look at the opportunities here, in this case for Lopez. Chances to punch inside. The problem, he doesn't want to punch inside. Instead, he puts his right hand behind Davis. He falls in, he smothers. And that's why we don't have an exciting fight, or one of the reasons why.
Don't hold. Let's go. Punch out. Right.
Let's look at Teddy's scorecard for the first time in this main event. And at the end of 6 rounds. See Lopez
Punch it out. Let's go.
only won the second round. Davis on top 59-55.
Right, don't punch. Let go.
I'm going to start taking points away and give us points for staying here and showing discipline, professionalism, corner fight, and give points to our audience for staying there. Stay there. I want to give you points. Stay there, please.
Don't punch.
Teddy, the other day I broadcast the Orange Bowl on ESPN Radio, play-by-play for the Orange Bowl. I never had a chance to catch my breath. West Virginia scored 70 points. I don't believe I've called a connected punch in my blow-by-blow of this main event yet.
Yeah, that was incredible. I happened to watch some of that, and that was offense all night long.
And here just the opposite. Many people feel, there's an uppercut, Teddy. He has landed an uppercut, and now all of a sudden that brings out something in Lopez, who takes a couple steps forward. Let's look at the CompuBox numbers so far with just over a minute to go in round 7. As you see, percentages down there 21%, and he fires off a right hand that time. Remember, these aren't, what can constitute a punch connected doesn't mean it has to come with much violence to it. And a little up jab from Davis. This is a downright offensive attack here in the midst of the 7th round.
You're talking about football. One of our great men in the truck just said neither one of these fighters have landed as many punches as West Virginia scored points.
That's true.
Not even close, I don't think.
Nope. They scored 70.
And it's right there for them, for either one. On the outside, anyone jabs, they're going to win the outside because no one else is jabbing. Anyone punches inside, they're going to win the inside because no one else is punching.
Davis caught him with a left hook as he came forward that time.
And again, Lopez a little cruder, and Crude can win tonight if he just matches it with determination.
3 rounds to go. Popcorn, anybody? They got it all here ringside at Mallory Square in Key West. Alfonso Lopez and Dyah Davis. Round number 8 of our main event.
You know, I talked about Lopez, all but 3 of his 23 fights in his home state of Texas. One time he went outside of Texas. He lost. That might tell you a little bit something. He was doing good with home cooking. And most of the fights for Davis have been in the South. And of course, in the South, you can pick your opponents a little easier, softer commission sometimes. You can build records up a little bit sometimes.
Davis just did a good job landing that left hand. Next week, we're going to be in Vegas at the Hard Rock. It'll be a 9 o'clock start. And it'll also be in spectacular 3D. Tion Kennedy, 17-1 against Chris Martin, 23-1-1 is the main event. Always good to see Friday night fights in 3D. I'm going to be watching the LSU-Alabama game at home in 3D, Teddy. I'm going to put the glasses on Monday night.
I wish he was on now.
It's, by the way, their first matchup was less defensive than this. Everybody who complained about that first matchup, it was all field goals.
I think the BCS got it right. The 2 best teams in the country
are
vying for the championship.
By the way, the other games, and some of those bowl games were panned, were wildly entertaining. Rose Bowl and Fiesta Bowl.
Oh, tremendous. Just the opposite, the antithesis of what we're seeing tonight. There was offense. Offense, offense, offense. Davis is self-managed. He's trained by former world champion, good trainer, John David Jackson.
He's had a lot of success as a trainer.
Yeah, he has. And Lopez, trained by Henry Harris, the brother of Roy Cut and Shoot, one of the best nicknames ever. The brother of Roy Cut and Shoot Harris, who fought Floyd Patterson for the heavyweight title back in 1958.
One of my all-time favorite Sports Illustrated covers. Oh, and there was the most solid punch landed by Alfonso Lopez. But you brought up Roy Harris, and Lopez is from that area, Cut and Shoot, Texas. And Roy Harris, who fought Floyd Patterson back in 1958 from that area. One of the best Sports Illustrated covers of all time. We're going to show you that here in the coming moments of the last time Cut and Shoot, Texas had some national attention that Alfonso Lopez is giving them right now.
I can't wait to see it.
Stay with us. Be right back.
Oh, at that time, Roy Cut and Shoot Harris was 23-0, undefeated heavyweight contender when he took on Mr. Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson had great hand speed, great power, and a great leaping left hook.
Round number 9 scheduled for 10. Dyah Davis, the son of the 1976 Olympic gold medalist Howard Davis, trying to earn the 21st win of his pro career. He got a late start. Didn't get to boxing until he was 23 years old.
Lopez, his last fight, he was cut over the left eye. That has not shown itself in this fight. Maybe not enough punches thrown to cut him over the left eye.
$79-73 on Teddy's scorecard for Davis. Tie up on the inside yet again. It's a good right hand that snapped the head of Davis, of Lopez, and Davis lands another right hand. So a lack of offense here in our main event. Many expect it to be a defensive struggle in the All-State BCS National Championship. Teddy, if there's one thing boxing people know is the psyche of rematches. How do you see the rematch between #1 LSU and #2 Alabama?
Well, the first thought, I think the easiest thought would be a lot of people would say, hey, Alabama's going to have the edge. You know, they're going to want revenge. They're going to want to be vindicated. They know what they have to correct. The other team won, so in their mind, they might not be thinking they have to correct as much. And in the first match, Alabama had a lot of bad breaks. They missed some field goals. A lot of people are going to say they had opportunities they're going to cash in, or maybe cash in on him, have a better chance to cash in on him in the rematch. So you would think Alabama would have the little edge, but boy, in that dome, in that Superdome in New Orleans, LSU, that crowd is supposed to be down the middle, an unbiased crowd, but it's not going to be unbiased. They're going to be rooting for LSU Tigers. And I think it's their year. I think LSU is going to find a way to win that fight again. They have a lot of, or win that football game again. They have a lot of good athletes on that team. So does Alabama. I just think that the Tigers will find a way.
We are marking it down. Teddy Atlas prediction, LSU national champions. So Davis and Lopez, moments away from getting themselves to the 10th and final round. The Hemingway, that is a nearby saloon that'll probably be filled up with many in the mass exodus from our production truck within the course of the next 90 minutes.
I think it started already.
It may have. Joe and Teddy with you here at the end of what has been a very bland main event between Alfonso Lopez and Dyah Davis. Davis has, for the most part, controlled, and on Teddy's scorecard leads 88 to 83. See if they have an urge to get after it now that it is the 10th and final round.
And again, you can see why we set up the fight plan the way we did as far as Davis' opportunities to counter when Lopez comes in. When Davis has countered, either with the uppercut or the left hook, and again with the left hook there, he's been able to have success catching Lopez come right down the middle and make himself very available. Again, a counter by Davis, but only one shot and then a little grabbing. Now, here's Exhibit A for me, if I'm in a courtroom trying to prove my case to why this is such a mental game and why both these guys allowed their instincts to survive, to grab a hold of them and choke them and keep them from doing what they should do during the fight. Here we are in the last round, and if anything, there should be less action because we're in the 10th round. Physically, if it's about physics, they should have less in the gas
That's
tank.
right. Attrition gets the best of them.
No doubt about it. But they're doing more now because they know they're towards the end.
They see the light at the end of the tunnel. They know the finish line is in sight.
Exactly, and their instinct is a little dulled now because now they don't have to think so hard and long about surviving. They can push that aside a little easier because, as you said, they see the light at the end of the tunnel and they can discipline and force themselves to be a little bit more active.
And that's what you're seeing as Lopez tried to come forward behind the jab that time, and Davis tried to catch him with a left hand as he moved in there.
Some swelling under the left eye of Davis. And you can see also why we did the fight plan on the side of Lopez. Watch Davis win the separation and he moves his head. We get a second here, maybe we get a little separation. Watch when he moves the head. 90% of the time he slips and he'll move that head usually to that side, to his right side. And again, that was there all night. If Lopez wanted to, he could have used the information of that to set him up.
Teddy, am I missing something? Is there anybody, if they were indifferently stylistically, that you would like to see them with again, or is it what it is?
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mallory Square in the Conch Republic, Key West, Florida, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Judges Fred Flutie and Rocky Young both score the bout 190. Judge Michael Pernick scores the bout 99-91. For the winner by unanimous decision, Dyah Ali Davis.